Hi, welcome to Fractured Fairy Tale Fun. And my name is Mrs. Brandt with the Massillon Public Library, but I think we've met, right? So I wanted to tell you all about, this is actually our very first day and our first program for our summer reading club program, which is called Imagine Your Story, which is awesome because I love telling stories. I know you guys are really probably pretty good at either drawing stories or writing stories. I think that everybody can do that, right? And so our theme is Imagine Your Story, and it's all about wolves, or fairy tales, and myths, and legends, and anything really. So if you want to stop in the Massillon Public Library, you can either sign up online for our online summer reading program, or you can stop at the library and sign up for the program there, and you will earn prizes. For every hour that you read, you get a ticket in a drawing, and each week you get a prize for reading an hour, at least, or you might win some more prizes. We have a whole bunch of programs. Some of them are at our library, and some of them are on Zoom. Actually, next week we have we have a program every day, except for Wednesday, because we're taking the day off. Okay. So, fractured fairy tales. Do you know what those are? How about fairy tales? What are some fairy tales that you know? So if you want to unmute, you can, or you could guess. I could guess. Do you know any fairy tales? How about Cinderella?
Yes.
Yeah. Little Red Riding Hood, is that a fairy tale?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to see a bunch of them today. The Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf, maybe. So fractured fairy tales are fairy tales, but they're changed just a little bit, and they retell it and changed a couple things. So they might have new or different characters. They might add, like in the Three Little Pigs, they might add Santa Pig and put it and set it at Christmas time. Or they could switch the good and the bad characters. So we're going to read a story later. What if in the Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf, what if the wolf was really nice? And the pigs were the bad guys? What would that story be like? And that's called a fractured fairy tale. It might be in a different setting, so not in the woods or in a castle. What if they put it on a desert island, or they set it in Massillon, Ohio? That would be cool. And he ran into Obie the tiger. I don't know. Make it funny. They might make it modern. So a lot of our fairy tales were written or first published back in the 1800s. Which is like 200 some years ago. And so they have castles and knights and carriages. But if you made it modern, you could have the Three Little Pigs showing up in a pickup truck, or Cinderella in 2020, which would be weird. And then new or different things could happen, like an alien might land on one of the Three Little Pigs' house. I would love to read that story. I actually challenge you guys to write a fractured fairy tale story like that. So I think first I'm going to show you a story about Rapunzel that is a fractured fairy tale, a little bit different. And then I have a video to show you, and that will give you an explanation too. So this is called Falling for Rapunzel, and they're usually funny, the fractured fairy tales. This is by Leah Wilcox and published by Putnam and Penguin Publishing. Now, you know the story of Rapunzel? She was locked away. She had long hair, gorgeous hair. It's also the story, Disney made a copy or a version called Tangled. So you might know that one. She was kept up in a high tower and could not escape until Prince Charming came along and helped her escape. But In this story, it's different. Once upon a bad hair day, a prince rode up Rapunzel's way. From up above, he heard her whine, upset that her hair had lost its shine. He thought that the crying was a plea, and so he sallied forth to set her free. But alas, she was too far away to quite make out what he would say. She could not hear him up in a tower. But he said, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, throw down your hair." But she thought he said, "Your underwear." So she threw down all her underwear. "No, no, no, Rapunzel," he said, "throw down your curly locks." And Rapunzel threw down her dirty socks. "Please," said the prince, "please, love, just your silky tresses," which is hair, another word for hair. But she thought he said silky dresses. In lace and frills up to his head, the prince's cheeks were blushing red. "Rapunzel, do you have a rope?" So Rapunzel dropped down a cantaloupe. "No, no, no, it burst in pieces on his head." "Oh, bad catch," Rapunzel said. The prince sighed. Perhaps this is a test, and he was bound by love and did not rest. "Okay, Rapunzel," he said, "how about some twine?" So she heaved out her prize-winning blue ribbon swine. That's a pig. And by now the prince was feeling hammered, not to mention less enamored, not in love. He growled up, "Do you have a ladder?" But Rapunzel heard him wrong, and she tossed out the pancake batter. It covered him from head to toe, and Rapunzel yelled, "It's better cooked, you know." At this, the poor prince had a cry, and then cupped his hands for one last try. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your braid." But confused, Rapunzel pushed out her maid instead. The maid fell squarely on the prince, quite pleased with the coincidence. She nimbly jumped up off his lap and soon retrieved the flattened chap, or she revived him. Then, smiling, she said, "For what it's worth, you'll find I'm really down to earth." His young heart thrilled. He gave a hoot. For what was more, this maid was kind of cute. She set the prince upon his steed, his horse, and then leapt behind with graceful speed. And leaning close so he could hear, she whispered something in his ear. "I fell for you when we first met." He nodded. How could I forget? She really did fall for him, didn't she? Rapunzel watched them ride from sight, and she said, "I'm glad he finally heard me right, or glad I finally heard him right. I hope if they come back for more, they'll think to just knock on my back door." Because in the original Rapunzel, there was no door. She had to climb, the prince had to climb up and down her hair, her braid. But in this story, the end, completely different ending. That was a little silly. I have a story for you I'm going to share with you here. It is The Three Little Pigs. But what if it was a little bit different ending? This is a video here. Whoops. Just take a second for me to share this screen, okay? This is a fractured fairy tale, The Three Little Pigs. This is actually on YouTube. It's called the Fixed Fairy Tales, and there's a number of them. If you like these, you could see them called Fixed Fairy Tales. Easy. All right, so that's another fractured fairy tale. So if you're ready, we're going to draw now. So it looks like you have some paper there, paper and crayon, marker, pencil, whatever you want to draw with, that is fine. Perfect. That way you can erase. And then you might need a dice. So if you have one from a game, you can use that. We put this on our website. So if you want to, or do that later, you can print one off of the website, and then you just fold it on the dotted lines and then tape or glue on these tabs, and that makes a dice like this. But if you don't have that, no problem, because I have a dice, and you could just, when I roll it, I'll hold up what I get, and you can use what I use. But it looks like you guys have a dice, and yep, everybody on our Zoom has a dice. So we're going to make a monster, because in every fairy tale, there's either a villain, a bad guy or girl, or a monster. And actually, a lot of stories have some monsters. They could be good monsters or bad monsters. You can even make yours be a dragon if you like. Not that great of a drawer, so I'm not going to do that. But let's see. So the first thing we're going to do is draw a head. So we're going to put our head up here. Maybe leave a little space for some hair, but you want to put it up towards the top of the page, because then you need to leave room for a body and some legs. But the first thing we're going to do is the head up here. Let's see what kind of shape it's going to be. So you want to take your dice and roll it, and I'll tell you what shape it's going to be based on your number. So I'm going to roll my dice. Roll yours. Okay. I got a 3. So if you have a 1, you're going to draw a square head. Okay. So you got a 4. 2, you can draw an oval head, which is kind of a flattened circle. 3 is a triangle or a rectangle. 4 is a triangle. That's what Neil has. 5 is a circle, and 6 is a diamond shape. So I have a 3, so I'm going to draw a rectangle head. Like that. Next, we're going to draw the body, so that's going to go under the head. So let's roll our dice one more time. Another time. I got 5. So if you got a 1, your body is going to be a circle. If you got 2, it'll be a triangle. If you got 3, you have a diamond body. 4 is an oval. 5, that's what I have, is going to be a square body. And then 6 is a rectangle body, kind of like that. So I'm going to draw a square body. Mine's starting to look like a robot monster. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is all our arms. So roll your dice one more time. Shake, shake, shake. I got a 3 again. Number 1, we're going to have short arms, kind of like a T-Rex. Number 2, we'll have curvy arms. That could be like giant big arms or curves. 3, no arms, nothing. Or maybe you want to draw like tentacles. 4 is our little thin stick arms. 5 are long arms. And number 6 are thick arms, like really giant. So I have a 3, which is no arms. I think I'm going to draw tentacles. For my guy. Are we good? Okay. How about legs? So next we'll do our legs, our monster's legs. So you can roll your dice again. Woo! Got a 6 this time. So legs, 1, You can have long, long legs, like super long legs. Number 2, thick legs, like tree trunks. Number 3, short little legs. Number 4, curvy legs. Number 5, thin legs, very thin. And number 6, no legs. Well, my monster just came up with no arms and no legs. He might be a blob. How could I do that? Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? He has no legs. I'm gonna put a circle for wheels. Oh, look at that. Look at my legs. That's a great idea Neil just had. What if, whatever you rolled, you want to ask a question, you can ask me. But whatever you rolled, that's how many legs he has. So like 2 legs or 6 legs. Would you like me to repeat something? Okay. I'm going to put wheels on mine. There. 6 wheels. Because it just said no legs. It didn't say no wheels. You okay? All right, so then.
What was number 2, the legs?
Number 2 are thick legs. Thick.
Oh.
Like maybe thick like a tree trunk, like very wide.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, this one's going to be for extras like a tail or hair or sharp teeth. So let's see. Roll your dice one more time. See what you get. I got 2. So if you have number 1, you are going to make a tail. Number 2 are horns on his head, horns. Number 3 are spots. Number 4 would be stripes. Number 5 would be hair. And so his hair could be anything you like. Crazy hair, long hair. And then number 6 is teeth. So maybe like happy or sharp teeth. So I have horns. That's what my guy looks like. Let's see. I love it. It kind of looks like octopus underwater or squid. All right, so now it looks like we'll need some eyes, nose, mouth, teeth. You could either draw that however you want, or we could roll a dice again and see how many eyes we're gonna have. Okay? All right, ready? Roll your dice again. Oh, I rolled 1. So I'm gonna have 1 eye on my guy, which is a cyclops. That's actually a monster. He's gonna have 1 eye, kind of like Monsters Inc., huh? How many did you guys get? Here comes Neil. 6 eyes, wow. And Neil has 4, Paige has 1, 2, 3, 4, and then she added teeth. That's really cool. All right, so I'm gonna put a little mouth on my guy. He's a little happy. And you can add a nose if you want. And if you want to hold it up and show us, that's awesome. So if you like this, let's see what we got. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, it looks like tentacles, like little suction cups underneath there. I like it. What do you have? Let's see. Oh, yours has hair and 4 eyes and 4 arms. I like those thick legs. Neil, that's cool. That's cool. So I went online, and you can also look this up. Just do a little Google search. You can roll a princess. So you can roll the dice, and it tells you how to make your own princess, or this is the one I liked, story. Oh, well, I don't know where that went. But you can also roll a story. So you can tell your own story, imagine your own story, and every time you roll a dice, you will add something to the setting. It will tell you whether it's going to be in the woods or in a castle or on the top of a mountain. And then you roll the dice again, and it might have a unicorn in it, or a princess, or a monster. So that is a great way for you to write your own fairy tale and imagine your story. So nice job with that. You guys can do that again if you want after the program. So now I thought we would stretch a little bit. Oh, look at that tail. Oh, we didn't even think about tails. Fuzzy tail. I'd love to know that guy's name. So this is, when I teach other kids about fairy tales and explain it, this is one of my favorite rhymes. It's called There Was a Princess Long Ago. And so, oh, his name, your monster's name is Booger. That's awesome. All right, so here we go. Sorry about that, everybody. I just lost the Wi-Fi at my house. That's what happened. So I apologize for that. We will start again, okay? There is a princess long ago. So actually, let's stand up. I'm going to stand up. Let's do that. Let's move around a little bit. Okay. There was a princess long ago, long ago, long ago. There was a princess long ago, long ago. And she lived in a great big tower, great big tower. Great big tower, she lived in a great big tower long ago. And then along came a wicked fairy who cast a spell with her magic wand. A wicked fairy cast a spell, cast a spell, cast a spell. The wicked fairy cast a spell long ago. And that spell made the princess sleep for 100 years. The princess slept for 100 years, 100 years, 100 years. The princess slept for 100 years long ago. Well, while she was sleeping, a great big forest grew all around her. So you got to get down low. A great big forest grew all around, all around, all around. A great big forest grew all around long ago. And then one day, a handsome prince came riding by on his horse. So grab a horse and go like this and ride. A handsome prince came riding by, riding by, riding by. A handsome prince came riding by long ago. And then he had to, because there's trees all around her, he had to take his sword and cut down all the trees. So he took his sword and cut the trees, cut the trees, cut the trees. He took his sword and cut the trees long ago. And he woke up the princess with a kiss. He woke the princess with the kiss, with the kiss, with the kiss. He woke the princess with the kiss long ago. And they got married. And the wedding bells went ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong. The wedding bells went ding, ding, dong long ago. And everybody's happy now, happy now, happy now. Everybody's happy now long ago. And they lived, do you know how they lived? Well, happily ever after, of course. Right? That's how our fairy tales end. Awesome. Okay. So I thought that we could write our own, just a little short one, write our very own fairy tale, imagine our story. And this is called Mad Lips. So I don't know if any of you have played Mad Libs, but we are going to put some, oh yeah, you know that. So you're gonna write down some words, and then we'll put them in the story, and I'll read the story, and it'll be a lot funnier. This is a story about the frog prince. So there is a prince who had a spell cast on him, and he was turned into a frog, a little frog with a crown. And the only way to bring him back to life as a prince would be for true love's kiss. Okay? So I know we've been out of school a little bit, not that long, but I am going to ask for a couple things. So you might unmute yourself if you want. It would help because I need some adjectives. So adjectives are words that describe. So like happy, sad, scared, mad, or colors, purple, green, or crazy, silly, ugly, scary, okay? So does anybody have an adjective? Go ahead. You can just say it.
Purple. Fairy.
Purple, and you said a fairy. We will put the fairy. Oh, very? Like very, very?
Harry.
Oh, Harry. That's gonna be silly. Okay. How about I need the name of one of the girls here. Who wants to be in our story? What's your name?
That's the name. Cinderella.
Cinderella. Okay. Perfect. I love that name. How about a noun? A noun is a thing. So anything you can see. What do you think, Neil?
Dog.
A star?
Dog.
Dog. Got it. And a place, which could be a restaurant, a house. It could be
City.
town. New York City? Yeah.
West New York City. What?
Okay. How about another adjective?
Stinky.
Stinky. And a part of the body.
Earlobe. Spleen.
Earlobe, somebody said? Okay. And another adjective? How about a couple adjectives? So everybody can say one.
Purple.
Okay, and what do you think?
Purple.
Purple. And I heard loud. I'll use that too. How about two more nouns? Couple nouns. A thing. Just anything.
Rainbow.
Sprinkle?
Rainbow.
Oh, rainbow.
Rainbow.
Rainbow. And what?
Rainbow.
I'm gonna try a different one, okay, Nia?
Up and down.
What's a different kind of drink?
Beer. Down.
Oh, beard. Got it. Sorry about that, hon. How about a verb? That means to do something, something you do.
Sprint.
What do you think?
Play.
Play.
Run.
Play. And run. Okay.
Ew.
And some nouns. So everybody could say a noun, and I'll use them all.
Spleen.
A thing.
Spleen.
Spleen. Really? What's in your house? What do you see? Like a dog or
Chair.
a chair?
Dog.
Okay, and one more. Another thing.
Picture.
Picture. And one more adjective, and then we're all done. Adjective is like describing something.
Tall.
Okay. Tall? You want tall? Okay. Okay, are you ready for a new fairy tale? Used to be the Frog Prince. Here we go. I wrote in all of the words that you said. I know you can't read that. Once upon a time, there lived a purple young girl named Cinderella who lived in a little dog by New York City. How'd she live in a dog? Well, she was a stinky child, always willing to lend an earlobe to all the hairy villagers. She was small and purple, but she worked very hard. And then one day, she happened upon a very loud frog. Rabbit! Oh my gosh. To her surprise, this little slimy beard could talk. In a deep, croaky voice, it said, I will grant you 3 wishes. But then, hey, I'm sorry about that. I think there's a curse on my house. Like a terrible villain has put a curse on me. You think? I don't know. If you can take care of that spell, that'd be great. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I was just reading real quick our Mad Lib, our story that we read, okay? I'll read that, and then we'll do one more thing and do our drawing and finish up before my Wi-Fi goes down again. So sorry about that. Once upon a time, there lived a purple young girl named Cinderella who lived in a little dog by New York City. She was a stinky child, always willing to lend an earlobe to the hairy villagers. She was small and purple, but she worked very hard. Then one day she happened upon a loud frog. Rabbit! To her surprise, though, this slimy little beard could talk. In a deep, croaky voice, it said, I will grant you 3 wishes, but then you must give me a rainbow on the lips. I don't know how you do that. She agreed. So for the first wish, she asked for a new chair for her parents to live in. Just one chair. And for her second wish, she wished to be able to play like a bird, which is kind of cool. She could fly through the air. And then for her final wish, she asked for all the pictures in the world, which is kind of like the internet, huh? And it all came to pass, just as the frog said. The girl kissed the frog, and he suddenly turned into a handsome young spleen. She could not believe her tall luck. The end. That was a story that you guys created, so give yourself a hand. Yes. Awesome. All right. So I was going to read this story about the 3 little wolves and the big bad pig. We're running low on time, so I don't know that we will do that. Well, here. I'm afraid I'll lose you again. Do that real quick. Once upon a time, there were 3 cuddly little wolves who lived with their mother. One day, the mother called the 3 little wolves and said, my children, it's time for you to go out into the world and build a house for yourselves, but be aware of the big bad pig. Don't worry, mother, we'll watch out for him, said the wolves, and they sent off. They soon ran into a kangaroo who was pushing a wheelbarrow full of red and yellow bricks. Please, can you give us some bricks, they said. Certainly, said the kangaroo, and she gave him lots of bricks. And the 3 little wolves built themselves a house out of bricks. The next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of bricks. And the 3 little wolves were playing croquet in the garden. When they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside the house and locked the door. Little wolves, let me in. No, 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 said the 3 little wolves. Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins. I will finish that up by saying they got worse and worse until they built a house out of flowers. The wolves built a house out of flowers, and the pig went to blow it down, and he breathed in the beautiful flowers, and it made him change his mind and made him happy. And then he went, achoo, but he actually became a happy pig who then played with the 3 wolves. All right, so this song is our last thing. Let me do a drawing real quick for our prize, and you can come into the Massillon Library. I'll leave that at the children's desk for whoever wins. Let's see. It is, well, that's somebody who wasn't here. Let's see. Paige. Paige is our winner. All right. So Paige, we'll leave that at the children's desk for you. Oh, that's very nice of you, everybody. Okay. So this is the 3 Little Pigs. It's a story song. It's one of my favorite things to do. And you can help me by saying boom, 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 and knock on the door. You can say, let me in, and you can huff and puff right along with the song, okay? I'm going to share this. Hopefully. Bad wolf. Whoops. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being awesome listeners. I know it's been a long time and bearing with me. So I hope that you come to some other programs and have fun with the summer reading program. Next week we have out at the Bellamy branch out in Brewster, there's a new story walk. In the Massillon Library, there is a story walk right now going on you could go to. Oh, let me share you one more time. If you come out today to the library, we have our little wavy guy, inflatable blue guy, out front of the Massillon Public Library on Lincoln Way there, and you can take a picture with him. He is waving at everybody today, and he'll be back out again. And then next week we also have mythical creatures and murals on Tuesday. Also on Tuesday there's a cartooning program, so if you like to draw, we have a man coming to show us how to draw cartoons. Then next Thursday is Fair Gardens. I think there's still some room to sign up for that. And then on Friday, Lindsay Bonilla is going to tell us tales and tales, and she is awesome at storytelling and getting us to do like a little bit of drama with her. So that's all for today. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time, okay?